Let's begin by reading the problem. Identify the relevant information given to you in the application problem below. Use that information to answer the questions that follow. Round your answers to 2 decimal places as needed. So a local bakery charges $9.37 for each cake delivered, plus a reservation fee of $5. They deliver a maximum of 17 cakes. Let C represent the total cost from the bakery and X represent the number of cakes delivered. So first we're asked to calculate C of 7. So let's write our formula first. We're told that X represents the number of cakes delivered. I'm going to start by identifying my variables. Number of cakes delivered. And C of X is the total cost for X cakes. So now we're given 2 pieces of information here. It says $9.37 for each cake. So this is the variable amount because it depends on the number of cakes delivered, which we're calling X. So we're going to write C of X equals $9.37x. So we'll multiply $9.37, the cost per cake, times the number of cakes delivered to find this amount. And then the reservation fee doesn't depend on the cost of the cake, so we're just going to add 5. So that's our function, and that's what our input and output represent. So calculate C of 7. So that's the cost, the total cost for 7 cakes. So I'm going to replace X with 7 and evaluate. So we have 9.37 times 7. So 9.37 times 7 cakes plus $5 reservation fee equals $7.59. So C of 7 equals $7.59. Excuse me, I think I said $7.59 before. Write your answer as an ordered pair. Well, the input is the number of cakes, and that was 7. The output is the total cost for 7 cakes, which is $70.59. Now we're going to complete the sentence to explain the meaning of 1 and 2. So the cost for having blank cakes delivered, well, we said the input 7 was the number of cakes, so 7 cakes delivered is $70.59. And there's a few more questions for this problem. So next we're asked to find X when C of X equals 117.44. So C of X represents the total cost for X cakes. So we're asked to find the X, the number of cakes delivered, when the total cost is $117.44. So let's start by writing our function and replacing the total cost with the value given. Now we're going to solve this equation for X. So the total cost is $117.44. Well, let's subtract off the reservation fee of $5. So that's $112.44 at $9.37 per cake. That cancels out. So now we want to divide both sides by 9.37. So if it's 9.37 per cake and it's 112.44 for X cakes, if we divide these values, we'll find the number of cakes. And we get 12 cakes. So 12 equals X, or X equals 12. Now let's fill in the information up here. So we have x equals 12. So 12 cakes have a total cost of $117.44. As an ordered pair, we write our parentheses, first our input of 12, then our output of $117.44. And now we'll complete the sentence. If the cost was blank, so the cost was $117.44, then the number of cakes delivered was, and that was our input value, 12. Now we're going to find the practical domain and the practical range of this function. So the practical domain is telling us the possible values of the input. Well, of course you can't have a negative amount of cakes delivered, so we'll put 0 cakes delivered. And of course no one would have 0 cakes delivered, but remember there's that reservation cost that you could be charged if you cancel your cakes. Okay. And then the maximum number of cakes, if we look back at the problem, it said that the company or the bakery delivers a maximum of 17 cakes. So that will be our maximum input value. So the number of cakes you can have delivered varies between 0 and 17. Now the range is going to be all the values you could pay between for 0 to 17 cakes. So the least amount, of course, is going to be if you have 0 cakes. So let's evaluate the function for an input of 0. So 0 cakes delivered, the cost for 0 cakes delivered is $9.37 times 0. That's the cost for the cakes, which will be 0, plus the reservation fee. So C of 0 equals 5. So the total cost, the least it could be is $5. Now let's see the most it could be. Well, that would be if you had the most amount of cakes ordered. So that's C of 17 equals 937 times 17. So 17 cakes at $9.37 per cake. And then add on the reservation fee. Now let's evaluate this on the calculator. So we'd have 937 times 17 cakes plus 5. So the maximum cost would be $164.29. $164.29. And let's put that in our practical range.